According to this dictionary, the word manage is defined as to handle, to control, to treat with care, to achieve one's purpose. And for the three managers you're about to meet, their journey to management in the hotel industry was met with some defining moments.
Housekeeping.
It's a busy Monday for Lorena Herrera, the general manager at Home to Suites by Hilton Fort Myers. In between meetings, today she's helping with housekeeping duties, fluffing pillows and making beds. A job she knows very well. It's how she got her start in the hospitality industry. Lorena knows these halls well, but it's the message scribed behind her chair that she lives by. Hard work, sacrifice, and risk. Her daily routine now a far cry from her first career in her home country of Ecuador.
I never thought when I came through my country, I was in my country police officer. So when I came here, I have different dreams.
She landed in New York and worked as a seamstress.
And then I went to clean the cargo areas in JFK airport for a while. And then I moved here to Florida.
And never looked back. After a few years and jobs later, she stopped in at a hotel looking for any position and started as a housekeeper the very next day. But it wasn't until the hotel was having a grand opening when her path would suddenly take a different course. She was assigned to cover the front area. The attendees were so impressed with her, they insisted on tipping.
And I make a lot of money that day. Yes, I was blessed that day.
Her managers at the time, also noticing, moved her into the front desk position, and the rest, as they say, is history. A moment Lorena did not take for granted.
God put me in the right place that I'm gonna be grow up, and I'm sorry for my tears. He chose me to be in that place because the people in that time was there. It is amazing.
Her office now filled with letters and reminders of the lives she's changed for both guests and staff.
So that is my passion, to provide all the guests the good service for them.
She will do anything that she asks of us. So if it means that she's cleaning rooms, she's cleaning rooms. If she's working the front desk, she's working the front desk.
And she taught me everything I know. She took the time out to actually mold me and show me, and I grew.
Sometimes we need, everything is gonna be okay. We can do it. We're gonna do that together.
It's the same outlook you'll find when you walk through the doors of the Holiday Inn Fort Myers Airport at Town Center.
Make sure you work alongside of your team members.
General manager and part owner Brian Holley doesn't just talk the talk.
You need to walk the talk. If you have policies, procedures, rules, regulations that you expect your team members to follow, you've got to set the example.
Not only does he set the example, he raises the bar, making and serving meals at the height of the pandemic, holding graduations for his staff and their family members, even getting to know their pets.
I love creating the culture of family. People help each other because they care for each other.
Holley is familiar with family. He's one of 10 kids, and for someone who set out to be an English teacher, he credits a lucky chance while waiting tables for finding his love of hospitality and tourism.
I went to work in a restaurant, and it happened to be downtown Philadelphia, and some of the Marriott executives used to come in there for lunch or happy hour, and after a while they got to know me and I got to know them.
Soon a position opened up and Holley was encouraged to apply.
Lo and behold, I got the job, was hired, and my hospitality career took off from there.
While this wasn't part of his plan, the joy in his voice when he talks about his staff.
The housekeepers come in the morning and fix each other's hair or give each other a hug.
Says something.
The career kind of chose me.
For Kari Cordisco, the general manager at Sanibel Moorings, it was a quest for a job to fit her college schedule that got her in the door of the hospitality industry.
One of my professors immediately identified me as a hospitality person, he said.
But she wasn't buying it just yet.
I had no aspirations whatsoever to be in that industry at the time, and I just kind of ignored what he said.
Living in Iowa, she took a job at a hotel and a few years later found herself heading to a conference in Orlando, bringing her mom along for the ride.
And she mentioned a fabled place called Sanibel with a Z. It was love at first sight.
As the trip came to an end, she was already making plans for a new beginning.
I always dreamed of not only living here, but I wanted to do what I loved here.
Fast forward a few more years, she got a job in Southwest Florida before being recruited to Sanibel Moorings.
How are you today?
It didn't take long before guests returned just to see Kari.
Hi, Kari.
Hi, Mr. Smith.
When it comes to her team, she wants the world to know a few things.
They are the unsung heroes of this past year. They've worked harder than they ever have to ensure that safety is always the priority for our guests. It's just really, really important that they know, not just from me, but from everybody, how important their jobs are. They are helping to connect our guests with their loved ones in the places that they love, like Sanibel.
A common love she shares with her guests that she proudly wears on her wrist.
My mom still says it with a Z, 20-some years later.
But for Kari, it's personal. When she was just 11, her dad was traveling for business and passed away in a hotel.
He traveled all the time, so he was there frequently. And so he knew the manager, and they were buddies.
Her dad wasn't feeling well and asked for a ride to the hospital.
Of course, the manager said, "Come right away and I'll take you." And so my dad got to the front desk and he fell, and he was gone. He was gone, they said, before he hit the ground. He had a massive heart attack. When we went to go get his items from the hotel, I just remember how kind the manager was. Knowing that that kind person was the last person that spoke with my dad always made me feel good. When I did make that connection, I'm like, well, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now I know that this was my purpose all along. That's pretty cool.